Bill Haney say his name 3 times, pop up like candy, man. What up,
Hey,
champ?
what's happening? What's happening, Ness?
Oh, you good? You good? How are you?
Man, shout out to you, the boxing voice. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And everybody in the chat. Of course, my brothers on the panel, man, this morning. How you guys feeling, man?
Man, we good, man. Anytime I could do what I love, I'm happy.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I got a chance to hear the tail ending of Keith, and then I got a chance to hear the other brother that came on, just talking about sparring welterweights. We've been sparring welterweights. We can spar the best welterweight, TBE himself. You know what I mean? So,
Floyd.
it ain't, we ain't never had no problem getting in there with anybody. You know what I mean? But in all seriousness, um, what's up with this JoJo Diaz guy?
I mean, it seems like on social media, him and Haney have agreed. Are you gonna tell us different? Because I just seen some tweets maybe yesterday where Haney was like, keep the same energy, and he's like, I'm keeping the same energy. I'm talking to my peoples this weekend. You do the same. So where are we? You tell us where we at.
Well, I mean, I'm waiting on my phone to ring from him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but why wait when you could just call Eric or Roberto Diaz? You know you got them numbers.
Absolutely. But when you're in the position that they're in, right? As a world champion, we weren't able to call Ryan Garcia and force Ryan Garcia in the ring. You're not able to force your mandatory. Your mandatory can force you in the ring, and that's just the way that it goes. You know.
I know, but I mean, being as though you feel like your son is the boogeyman of the division, why wouldn't you open up those airways rather than waiting? I mean, it sounds like JoJo has options. I don't know that you want to leave them out there lingering without starting a conversation. Leonard Ellerby has expressed interest, even though Keith Idec doesn't believe it. He has expressed interest, and at the end of the day, JoJo is a featherweight moving up, right? So for Tank, it's a safe fight. And, JoJo also expressed interest in Ryan. So it's like someone has to lock him in before he's off the table.
Him expressing interest and vocally having someone to express interest in him, right? It's both him and Devin been going back and forth. I think you've only heard Devin, the one that's expressed interest. I know for sure that Ryan Garcia is not fighting him next, right? I
Not
know that
fighting
for sure.
JoJo.
Not fighting JoJo.
Why do you say for sure? That seems so definite.
It's. I know for sure. I know for sure. I know from Ryan Garcia's people, of course, they're not fighting JoJo next. And you've never heard Ryan Garcia come out and say it.
So are you insinuating that Ryan's fighting Tank next in October?
Ryan's not fighting Tank next either.
Is he fighting Devin Haney next?
Not fighting Devin Haney next either.
So he's not fighting.
Listen, when he said that he had problems, he said that he had issues, and he said, do you guys just expect him then to then resolve his issues and be back in the ring with a killer? Right? He's not getting in there with none of the killers, period. Now, I don't know. I don't want to say anything about the mental health, but I don't think that he's healthy, right? I don't think that he's healthy enough mentally or physically probably to deal with those guys right now. Maybe at a later date, but he's just not, according, to his team. He's not ready.
So where's that?
And I heard that JoJo Diaz, you know what I mean, he's looking for his best case scenario, right? Which I don't know what that could be, right? Other than becoming a world champion, again, a 2-time world champion, right? And being able to have that belt.
So what is Devin Haney plans? Because sounds like you guys, for the last 2 fights you didn't wait.
See, you know how that's how it goes. If the mandatory, which we've been in this position before, if the mandatory doesn't enforce his position, right? The mandatory either from the sanctioning body gets dropped from that position. We've seen it happen with Fortuna. We've seen it happen with Ryan Garcia. and we'll see it happen with JoJo Diaz if he doesn't enforce himself being a mandatory. Then it gives Devin a chance to they give Devin a voluntary, right, where he picks the person. But right now, there's nothing to pick. Right, we were ordered within 90 days to fight.
Vasil's available.
Or mandatory.
Vasil's number one. I mean, if Joseph doesn't want it, what's the probability of Vasil Lomachenko taking that fight?
Then that's what we do. We talk to Bob Arum. Bob Arum becomes then the number one.
Speaking of, let me interject, man. First and foremost, I wanna hope that this is wrong information, because I want to believe that you would have told me you got an offer from Top Rank and that it was a low ball offer. But I'm being told you guys received an offer from Top Rank to sign to Top Rank, but you didn't take it because you felt it was low. Any truth to that?
No truth. No truth at all.
No offers.
No offers.
Good. I don't want to be left on the cold, out on the outside, you know? People saying that, I don't know. I mean, that's what they were saying the other day. So why wouldn't Top Rank be interested in a WBC champion at a 135-pound division when they have a few pieces of the puzzle?
I'm sure that I'm certain that they're interested, right? But we haven't received any offers yet. And when I do, and if the offer is right or not right, I'm going to definitely let you know.
And why haven't you shopped them around? I mean, you were in the music business, right? Why you ain't shopping this new hot CD, Devin Haney's greatest hits out right now? Why you ain't hitting them up?
Devin is one of the Devin is exploring options.
Okay.
He's exploring options, but at the same time, what we're doing is we can't do too much, because 90 days we were ordered to defend against the winner of JoJo Diaz and Javier Fortuna in 90 days, right? We were not able to talk to anyone about another fight until the winner had been established between JoJo Diaz and Javier Fortuna. Now, if JoJo Diaz is relinquishing his position and Golden Boy is relinquishing their position, then that's something else.
So 90 days from the date of the Javier Fortuna fight.
90 days from the date of our fight.
You have 90 days from the date of Linares' fight to make a deal with JoJo?
With JoJo, yep. We had 90 days.
So what date was that? Let me see. How much time has passed and how much is left? Do you got a countdown? Like, you got that on the app or something? You know how much time is left?
In the back of my mind, I know that it's the time is ticking. You know what I'm saying?
I
know if we were to hunt it,
May 29th. So a month is about to be up. 90 days. So he's got 69 days left. Maybe.
Yeah. And you know, if we were to hunt it, then it would be a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Versus being the hunters. Right? So
I happened to see your son, man. I was expecting you to be there. What's going on? Why he wasn't in the ATL, man?
I know I couldn't make it, but Dev went and the rest of the team went, and they had said they had an amazing time.
They did, but I got to tell you, man, Devin is a representative of DHP, and I understand that he doesn't want to take shine from his fighters, but Eddie, right, is a promoter, and he doesn't refuse interviews to give shine to Devin. In fact, he uses his million subscribers on Instagram to promote Devin. Just a piece of advice, you know, he could give more shine to his fighters by talking about them, but it was very amazing to see him at a club level show promoting two of his fighters, you know, hands-on in a grassroots fight club in the ATL. No security. Man, shout out to your son, man. He really made a lot of people happy that day, showing up and just showing support. You know, it was amazing, but it would have went a step further to do a few interviews, talk about DHP, because, you know, when I said it, people were like, oh, shit, Devin Haney's promoting fighters? I'm like, yeah, he got 2 or 3 that I know of, right? Because you got Amari.
Yeah, he has 3 fighters.
You got Amari, Stephen Acosta, and Shamar. What's Shamar's last name? I was trying to tell my audience yesterday. I can't remember.
Jones.
Shamar Jones. He did fantastic.
Excuse me, Shamar Canal and Amari Jones.
Canal, because yes, Canal Street, bro. I butchered that on the live telecast, but that kid's sharp. 18 years old. What was the decision?
He's I think in the process, or I don't know why he's gonna probably promote Mickey Bay's last couple fights as well.
Hey, listen, I got a few dates, man. Let's get Mickey Bay on one of our shows. We do some live commentating, sell a few pay-per-views. Let's do it. DHP was just there. It'll be great, man. I'm pumped this for real, man. That was actually a fantastic fight card, man. And Shamar, 18 years old. What was give me why? Why turn him pro? Was it because the Olympics and the whole COVID? 18 years old, obviously your son turned pro at 17. So is this just the DHP, route, or is everyone kind of a different trajectory? But why Canal turning pro at 18?
Well, everybody's different. He uses the name Shamar the Boss Canal. I like to call him Shamar the Freak Canal because he's a big, really he's a 126 pounder. Right, he fought at 130, but he's a 26 pounder with a 75-inch reach. Can you imagine that? Right, 5'11", 75-inch reach at 126 pounds, and he's a multinational championship winner as well. You know what I mean? And we just think this is the time in which that he's ready to go. Both his coach, Superman Aaron Davis, out of New York. One of his coaches has done a great job with him. You know what I mean? And he's a very humble but a hardworking kid. And as a team, that we just feel that he's ready to go, ready to make that step in the pros.
And how did he hook up with Devin Haney Promotions? Like, he's from New York. You guys are from the Bay. Like, how'd this come about?
Well, one of my god brothers, Robert Brewster, who's from New York, he's from Harlem, who brought me his nephew. That's his nephew. And I kind of embraced him. I embraced him as one of my own, nephews as well, and I've been following him for many, many years now, and we've been helping from a distance. And we just decided that, it was about time to, bring it under one roof, bring it under Devin Haney Promotions, and as a collective, start getting him the fights that he needs.
So, like how hands-on are you with the guidance of the career? Like, can we go to you for his next date? Is that something that his father tells you, or, when will we see him again? What can we expect to see him again?
We're gonna try to get him right back in there. I know that we're looking for to get him on I know for certain Amari will be on the August 14th date. God willing.
The one with Lorenzo, Chuck Simpson, and
yes, and Darren Cunningham.
Yeah.
And Darren Cunningham.
So David?
David? I don't know David.
The Cortez brothers?
Oh, of course. I know the Cortez brothers. Yeah. Mickey and his brother Tez.
Fams, man, grab your phone, drop that word, man. I got a call scheduled like in an hour. He called me while I was live. I'm trying to do the commentating for that. Y'all need me to, like, nobody don't even know. I just found out Darren is fighting, man. He called me last night and told me he's fighting on this August 4th. I'm like, what? I was just in Atlanta. Yo. Anyway, I'm going to brag in a few because I know them numbers is coming in, man. They going to tell me what happened. They very pleased, I'm telling you, man. And I would love to do that. That would be awesome, seeing Devin there.
Hey, listen, you are one of the hardest working guys in boxing right now, man.
It's not even hard work, Bill. I love this shit, man. I really do. Like, again, like, I'm genuinely excited that I got to meet Shamar. These dudes don't understand. I guess I'm turning into a hipster, so I want to be the first dude to discover someone. You know what I mean? And Shamar looked fantastic. Unfortunately, the other DHP fighter, Steven Acosta, he suffered a loss, but the dude that beat him, it's a wrap. I'm a fan. Savion Morales, y'all should sign that kid. Perth Amboy, New Jersey, Southpaw, bruh. You seen what he did? Oh my God, this kid, he came in there with Asics. He was a wrestler. He confused us all. He had the little cheap Everlast shorts, the worn out Asic, and bruh, when he start fighting, you can see that skill a mile of fucking way and the confidence. That kid's a problem. New Jersey, stand up.
I heard that kid.
One.
No, I heard about that kid.
He's
I heard
nice.
that fight that we call the other kid Baby Canelo, right? We call him Baby Canelo because his hair and the way that he looks. But yeah, he took a tough defeat, and hopefully he can come right back.
He gonna have to, man, because but listen, the thing is he ain't got to put his head down because he didn't lose because of conditioning. This kid was just sharp, and he landed some straight lefts that you get hit in the right spot. You get hit in the right spot. You know what I mean? But that dude was a sleeper. He don't even got an Instagram bill. Got it. You got to jump on this kid before somebody else do, because it's a wrap. Cats, the secret's out. You guys, my audience, I haven't stopped saying his name. Him, the heavyweight, Amacio Jimenez. Oh my God, first Puerto Rican Mexican heavyweight.
I heard about him as well. Yeah,
I never heard of that shit in my life. This dude don't even know he's a future star, bruh. It's a wrap. He like 6'3", or 6'4", 270. His father wants to get him to like 245 when it's all said and done. He's fast. He's got a bazooka. Man, I hope I can make it to that Tennessee show that he's fighting on. This. The issue is it's a Friday and we got our border wars on that Saturday, but I like that kid. Yeah, man. But anyway.
So the guy,
69 days
with
left.
Boxing Scene says being overpaid.
Yeah.
I think different. I want to think different. I want to think that Devin has definitely gotten paid what he's supposed to getting paid.
Well, that's what he said. I think you didn't hear it all. He said that you would believe you're getting paid the way you deserve to be paid, but he believes that another network might consider it above market value. Okay.
Well, they're entitled to, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. What we did with Dazn early on, Dazn, just like he pointed out to the fact that Dazn wasn't very big here in the States. And Devin, we had I think what was his name? Farmer was with Dazn, and the other fighter, Danny Jacobs, was with Dazn as well. And when Devin made the move to partner up with Matchroom and go on Dazn, there wasn't a whole lot of talk about it, right? It was the opposite, in the sense of saying that Devin was going to get lost, fighting on Dazn, that no one would be able to hear about him. He wouldn't be able to become a star on Dazn. This was before Canelo was there. This was before Mikey was there. This was before some of the bigger fighters, right? And I think we showed what we wanted to show. We wanted to show that we could go to a network like Dazn. We can go to a lesser known network and still gain traction. So it's no difference.
I need you to rebut something else he said. He when I said Tank and Haney's the biggest fight to make in Atlanta, he said, well, Ryan and Tank is the biggest fight, and you got to put that somewhere, I guess, in LA or Vegas. But because he suggested maybe Devin sold about 4,000 or 5,000 in Vegas because those numbers weren't officially out, and that Ryan, in the heart of a pandemic, sold maybe 6,000 and 7,000 in Dallas, where his fight shouldn't have been. So what's your rebut to that? Like, I thought Haney was doing well with tickets. Like, he stepped in on short notice over there in the MGM Harbor and sold that out in a fight that was supposed to be for Usyk versus Sponge, and before Sponge it was someone else, and like, I thought you guys saved the day. I guess you didn't, in his eyes rather. And then in Vegas, I was there. I thought that shit was lit, and I thought it was full. He says, yeah, I was there. The crowd was good, but he feels like it was scaled down. It was supposed to be, I think he said, I don't want to misquote him, but he said 5,000 would have been half or less than half. So
Well, it was never open. It was never fully opened anyway. The week before that one, or no, I'm saying the week after. No, the week before was the undisputed with Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, and they didn't have anybody in there, and that was right down the street in Vegas. So for us, the very next week
but
to
then they
get
sell
five
seven.
thousand,
Well, they released that they sold 7,000, and 1,000 of those people were allegedly Josh Taylor fans.
yeah, I don't think that they sold. They didn't sell 7,000 to Josh Taylor. That was a closed show. I don't think that they sold that because that was at the Virgin. The Virgin doesn't hold 7,000. I don't believe.
Let me double check. But so why do they seem to believe Ryan is a bigger star? I mean, how many times has Devin main evented?
I mean, he's main evented. I think 4 out of 5 of the times, 4 out of his last fights, he's main evented.
And obviously, if
And
you
the only time that he didn't main event is when he let the YouTubers, when we went to the Staples Center to do that fight, and Logan Paul and KSI was the main event. So out of the last 5 fights, Devin was, 4 out of them. The last fight, he was 5. He was the main event.
and Ryan, was I wrong? I thought he only main evented the Campbell fight. Did I miss? Was the Duno or someone else a main event?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Ness.
So you think it's only one as well, or you're just not sure?
Well, the thing is that the boxing guys, we're so quick to give credence to YouTubers, right? We're quick to give them credence, right? But we don't give our own fighters. We don't give our own fighters the credence that they need. I know that Devin
So
is
I
a
got it
draw.
right here. Sorry to cut you off. Just want to give you clarity.
Uh-huh.
Aram is looking at staging Taylor Ramirez clash at the MGM Grand or the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, and he sees there being 6,000 to 7,000 tickets available for the fight and possibly more. He says he's predicting Nevada's only allowing 50% capacity. So his talk. So 7,000 was the ticket number they were projecting.
How much did they sell? Does it say?
I don't see a actual ticket sold. Let's keep looking though. But you were saying?
When we talk about, and I always talk about the star power that TBE brings, right? Let's not confuse his core fan base, right? Anytime that you do millions of buys, right? And you're still semi-retired, right? We know that Tank Davis and the Tank Davis show is sponsored by Floyd Mayweather, right? And they do a wonderful job selling out arenas and stuff like that. But then when you talk about Devin and the other lightweights, right? I think that his numbers are fair. I think he does just as many, as most, and not as much as some, right? You might talk about Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, and then that's probably about it. I think with everyone else, they're all about in the same boat. The Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, right? I think it's fair to say that Devin doesn't sell less than those guys. The fight between Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez was during the pandemic. There weren't any tickets had sold to show anything. I think Teofimo Lopez before then, 5, 6, 7,000. I think it's fair.
So you think the Tank Ryan fight is bigger than Devin Tank?
Well, I think that it might reach a bigger audience. I think that because of what Ryan's fan base, and I'm just going on it from strictly from the Instagram, the social media following. Um, I think that it's a big fight, but I think that the fight with Tank and Devin is a bigger fight for boxing and the culture of boxing. I think more people with more hardcore fans would be anticipating a fight with Devin and Tank and not knowing the outcome other than looking at Ryan as food to Tank. I don't think no one believes that Ryan will beat Tank.
Mm.
And I also believe that they're doing a great job. Ryan Garcia is doing a great job at using Tank's name for promotion, for promoting himself, similar to what Teofimo Lopez has done with Devin as well. Talk about him being the next fight. He's going to make him. He's going to mandate it. He's going to do everything to make the fight happen. Then goes the other direction.
Do Why aren't you trying to get a deal with Mayweather, seeing as though how good of a job they're doing with Tank, right? Like, obviously, Linares is, more accomplished than Mario Barrios, right? And you share a common opponent in Gamboa, and, he had Gamboa in a sold-out Atlanta crowd. As a free agent, seeing what they're doing for Tank, knowing the relationship that your son already has with Floyd, I mean, the Rolly fights are there. They could get you the Gary Russell fight, and then maybe they'll be willing to do the Tank fight. Why isn't that an option, man?
That's of course always an option. We've always had a great relationship with
Yeah, but I
with
mean,
Floyd.
actually making it. I mean, actually having that conversation. Like, yo, can you get us this Gary Russell fight and Romero? We know Tank is gonna be hard to corner in, but can we get this Romero and Gary Russell fight? You don't like those fights, Bill?
No,
You think you better off fighting Teofimo and Ryan?
um,
Or though, because like, what's
of
more
course,
realistic to happen for Devin Haney? What's more realistic? Is
of
Teofimo and
course,
Ryan more realistic?
of course, they would say if we fought Rolly, in my opinion, if we fought Rolly and we fought Gary Russell, then they would say, well, you didn't fight Tank. I mean, you didn't fight Teofimo, or you didn't fight Ryan, right? If we fight, if we do everything in our powers to be in a position to fight Ryan and to fight Teofimo, then you'll hear him say, "Why don't you fight Rolly, or why don't you fight Gary?"
But don't you think that the boxing world sees that no one is signing up to fight your son? So if you decided to fight Gary Russell, like, I don't think anyone's gonna say, "Well, why didn't you fight Ryan?" Because we know Ryan is recovering from mental health, problems that he was going with, or I hope I'm saying the term right. But outside of that, we know Tank is doing what his promoter said would be in-house, or they're picking their fights, right? Like, Ryan and Tank are busy. Tio's trapped in this Cambosos fight. Is it gonna happen? Is it not? You got Coppinger reporting that it's not. Are you all right? I'll give you a twist. If the fight doesn't happen with Cambosos, what should legally take place is Eddie's secondary bid is the second highest, so he wins. But that doesn't, again, guarantee you that Tio's going to fight Devin after that one-off fight on Dazn.
Right.
But what do you think about that?
Well, the thing about us is that the people will actually get a chance to see that Devin makes a better dance partner than Barrios. He made a better dance partner for Tank than Gamboa. He makes a better dance partner for Teofimo than Cambosos, right? So it's, I mean, it's bittersweet in the sense of, for us to say that the Tank Davis fight won't happen because we're not on the same side of the street. But then you hear Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight potentially happening, or you'll hear Tank Davis and JoJo Diaz fight potentially happening, right? So what's the difference? Is what I would say. To everyone, what's the difference?
Yeah, but do you believe it
Whoever
though?
Devin is signed with, or whoever he's not signed with, what makes him not come in and be the perfect dance partner?
But do you believe when they say JoJo's an option? Like that's what I was asking Idek. Does he believe it? I mean, you know what else? If you want to believe that, Leonard Ellerby said that Tank's next fight could possibly be a welterweight, which would be a big pay-per-view. And that's quotation marks, big pay-per-view. So, like, I mean, what do we believe? Do we believe that they want interest in JoJo? Do we believe he's fighting at welterweight next? You know what I mean? They can do whatever they want. And that's why I've always implored you to do you. Don't wait on
Okay, but
anyone.
but okay. Let me ask you this though:
Uh-huh.
what opponent made Tank be able to do what he wants to do? Which opponent
His
was
his
the defining?
views.
Huh?
His views indicated that. Look, Charlo just went for undisputed Saturday and still came under Tank's last free fight on Showtime. It's just the kid's a star, man. When you're a star, it
Right.
don't matter who you fight. I mean, Floyd didn't. It didn't matter for Floyd. He picked and created the green print of him versus a Latino across from him. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe
it's the
that.
numbers, and obviously the network. The network is telling him he's a star by treating him as such. They're the ones doing 10,000 pieces of shoulder content, and it's doing great numbers on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like he's a star. I was there. He's a star. He's
I
definitely a
believe so.
star.
I believe he's definitely a star too as well. I hear a lot of people saying different, but I believe he is. And for that reason, he's a dangerous fighter. He's a star. You know what I mean? The whole Mayweather brand brings a lot to the table, and for that reason, you know what I mean. We would be available.
I just feel, people will think, oh, you just aligned with Bill. You got to say what you got to say to keep him coming back. But the truth is, after being to both of you guys' fights, I just believe that that's the biggest fight to make. Whether it's only big in Atlanta or it can be done in Vegas. But
I
those
mean, it's
two
big to me.
crowds,
It's
I think,
it's a
need
big
to
fight.
mix.
It's a big fight. It's a big fight everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a big fight around the world,
I would
right?
honestly though, I think I want to see it in Atlanta. I mean, I know you probably want it in Vegas, but I think I'd probably, I just feel that those two crowds, if they mix, it would be insane. You know what I mean? I think that shit would be like a fashion show, a car show, a boxing extravaganza. It's pay per view. It's two very talented fighters. I don't see the. I've never. Ryan. Everybody keeps saying he's the big fight, but even this guy, right? He's been covering the sport since 1996. And he's like, yeah, Tank and Ryan's the bigger fight, but I don't see Tank beating. I don't see Ryan beating any of the lightweights. He didn't pick him to beat anybody. So why is he this big fight? He's at one main event. No one thinks he'll win, but they keep saying he's the big fight. He's the big fight. Maybe I haven't been to a Ryan fight yet, and I got to go to feel his presence in the audience, but I don't see as the big fight. The big fight is Devin and Tank. To me, I came back from Devin's fight and said that. I came back from Tank's fight and said that. That's the fight. And I thought, honestly, no disrespect to you or Devin, I really thought they were going to jump on the opportunity to be a full champion after watching the older Linares. He hurt Devin. That cannot be denied. He hurt Devin. So Tank should have got some sort of like.
So why isn't the lion around the corner then? I mean, I'm
That's what
sure
I
as an
don't
opponent,
understand.
we come in
Honestly,
as a B side. We don't argue the fact that being a B side to a Tank Davis, right? Right. I don't even argue about being a B side to um fucking that other kid. That other kid,
Ryan. Tio? Ryan, Tio,
No,
which one?
fuck no. Ryan Garcia.
Okay, so you're the
Ryan,
B-side to Ryan.
right,
Okay.
right. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
We understand that, right? We understand that the hoopla that he brings, right?
Yep,
But
yep.
why is the line around the corner to make the fight happen?
That's what I don't
What do they see?
understand.
What do they not see about Devin in being a dance partner that they see in all the other fighters?
I think it was, even though he showed vulnerability, I think they seen too much, because again, it was a whitewash up until then. It was crazy. Like, I didn't expect that at all. And you know, it was a one-sided fight. It was looking very close to like Mayweather Robert Guerrero, but then he got caught. So, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, you should be able to catch him, Tank, is what I thought they would see, or at least think, you know?
Well, I know that Devin is 22 and he's the youngest world champion in boxing right now. So, you know, we won't get rattled by, you know, what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, we won't put ourselves in a bad predicament or a bad deal because they're not willing to fight. Right? We're not going to just do the wrong thing.
But could you give us a 7-day turnaround and just drop that text to Espinoza like, yo, what do you think about Devin Gary and Rolando Romero 2-fight deal? Can you just throw that out there?
Don't you think an executive that's as smart as Steven Espinoza?
Listen, forget about. Listen, you said it, Ness. You said it. You said it. I'm the hardest working. All you got to do is work. Forget about what they ain't doing. You do it.
Right.
Let's get it done. We could do it.
Right.
The community was behind Gary and Devin, and at the end of the day, like, you get in a featherweight moving up, like it's great for Devin. It's like, yo, the public really wants me to fight a smaller man. Okay, I'll take this free check.
Right.
No, you don't see it that way?
I mean, you know, I see Devin being available for all those guys. You know what I'm saying? And I think that all of them make great fights. I think Gary Russell is a very accomplished super featherweight that has the ability to move up to lightweight. He said it on numerous occasions that that's what he was going to do. I didn't doubt him, right? I thought by now he would have had a fight at lightweight.
He's got nothing on the schedule, man. He's been out the ring almost a year and a half. It's the perfect time. He's back in the same position he was when you were first negotiating with him, Bill. I mean, honestly.
Well, I spoke with his dad, and it wasn't something that they had on the menu, right?
That's crazy.
That they had on the menu, that they weren't necessarily interested in the fight. When I spoke to his dad.
When was that? Was that a long time ago? How recent? Maybe
2 weeks ago.
Oh, damn. Thank you. See, this is why I love you. At least you working. You out here trying. So that means Espinoza can't make that, because if the team doesn't want it, the network can't make you fight him. What about the Romero fight? Do you like that enough to make any phone calls?
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely. I like the Rolly fight. I like the Rolly fight because I believe that Rolly would like to fight. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think Rolly and his father would want to make the fight happen. Wow. It would just be upon, you know, whether or not the Mayweather Promotions would.
And that's why I said talk to them first, right? Because if you with them, maybe they ain't mad to give you the Cuban in Rolando Romero. You know?
Absolutely.
And then they get that opportunity to give you the green prince. Like, all right, you if you with them, then Mayweather could do the Latin across the corner from you. And look, people think
it was just so stereotypical that the things that were actually being said about, you know, Floyd's fighters and what Floyd, you know, that was the quote unquote the easy way to go. You know what I mean? And, you know, for Devin, he wanted to make his own path, right? He wanted to make his own path. However hard the bed was, he wanted to make it hard, and he wanted to lay in it. We felt that going with Eddie up until that point,
but that's the past. You did that already.
Correct.
I mean, now you've showed Floyd, look, we did it our way. you know, you're doing fantastic with Giovanta, but look what we did on our own. What can we do together now? I mean,
Absolutely.
because you obviously have shown your worth now, you know, in my opinion. So it's like, now what would a fight promoted by DHP and Floyd Mayweather Promotions look like now that DHP has already shown the world what they can do on their own? You know what I mean? I just would like to see it, whether it's a one-off with Rolly, you know, or a Gary. I mean, I just don't like people sitting around and waiting. You know, I want to see your son back in action. I want to go to another fight. I want to see a Skittles variety of Lamborghinis. I had a fantastic time, you know, watching the crowd that he brought out. I want to be involved in that again. That's all. I don't want to wait fucking 12 months to be at a Devin Haney fight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, why don't you get JoJo Diaz on here? Why don't you get JoJo Diaz on?
We've been trying. I can screen share. We've been trying. You know, he's a little bit hard to pin down. At least he's communicating, unlike other champions.
What about the Golden Boy? Golden Boy.
What,
Anyone
Oscar?
from Golden Boy?
Oscar?
Robert Diaz or anybody?
Yeah, Robert I spoke to, and he was out of the country or away from California, but we are locking Robert in. He did say yes. And as far as Oscar, I'm going through Gabriel for Oscar, trying to see can we pin him down. But, you know, these guys are not as easy to lock in.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we're definitely in a position where we're a phone call away from the Golden Boy team to make this fight happen. You know what I mean? It's not something that, just like Javier Fortuna's manager said, that once Javier Fortuna won, that we would then be going up to 140. Well, you know what I mean? He got washed by a JoJo Diaz, right? And we're still here. So that's a testament to, you know what I mean, are willing to put on the show for the people.
But doesn't this make it more difficult for Devin to make that weight by, you know, having long, you know, periods in between fights?
If you go on his
Box right?
his Instagram on Real Devin Haney right now, if you go on his story, he's on there working right now. You know, so he's working, and it's not even a fight.
Yeah, he's running. I see him here. Let me go ahead and screen share this.
So we don't have a date, and he's still working. So he'll be ready.
Well, all right. I think we're screen sharing now. Yes. Yeah, he's definitely in the gym.
And I see that, you know, that Floyd was doing the same thing at 22, right? He kept calling out these guys, kept calling out them guys, and when he did get him in the ring, he punished them.
Yeah.
We don't expect anything else.
I'm just watching the story here. We're watching Real Devin Haney's story. He definitely is in the gym, doing squats in the whole nine. Well, I've put out a post in case the public wants to ask Bill Haney a question while we got him. You know, time is money, so snap. Bill, you think Crawford's really fighting Cepeda next?
I don't know. I hope not.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah, I hope not.
What do you think? Is it Keith and Ugas, or is it Ugas and Berto who magically appeared on the rankings?
Keith, wait a minute. Is it Keith or Ugas? What do you mean?
Yeah, Keith and Ugas, or Ugas and Berto, who magically appeared on the WBA top 10 rankings after 4 years of inactivity. Damn, they got him really like out here doing explosive drills, huh? I need some of these in my next Border Wars fight here. That must be for like that stamina. Sheesh. He working, Bill. He working. So why you ain't show up to Atlanta? You still ain't tell us that. What happened? Ain't you like the CEO?
Yeah, Devin made the appearance. Devin was there.
Only one at a time. I hear you. We got Brandon in Houston says, no question, more of a statement. Bill, I love the fact that you understand that YouTube is to boxing as the golf channel is to golf. I appreciate you treating platforms with the same amount of respect as you would an ESPN or a Fox. Always enjoy your input. Well, there you go. He's absolutely right. Bill, stand up. Anybody want to ask Bill a question? You know you got to go to the Patreon post. But, Bill, I don't want to keep you. We could take some calls. Let's see if they got anybody on the line want to talk to Bill Haney. Anybody want to help me convince him to take this Floyd Mayweather deal? What we got? Who's out there? Mr. PBC, look, your dreams come true. Talk to me. Oh, well, actually, James Payne Lethal, you raised your hand. Let's go.
Mr. Bill Haney. Nix, can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Well, first
Yes,
off,
sir.
I don't even want to ask you a question, Mr. Haney. I just want to say thank you again for working and your son working with our boxing promotion, Tristar Boxing, and Southpaw Promotions for sending them out there, and he's showing up to support his fighters that were on that card. I think y'all are doing phenomenal things, not just with Devin's career, but just in business and how active you are with social media and these boxing platforms on YouTube, all of the support that you give the Boxing Voice. So I just want to say, like, I watch what you're doing. I admire your path and your dedication and being a stand-up black father as well. It's a true inspiration to me. So I just want to say thank you, sir, and please keep up the good work, and I'll continue to watch and support.
Thank you, King. Appreciate it.
All right. We got Mr. PBC. Are you available?
Yeah, what's good? What's
We
up,
got
Bill Haney?
Hey,
What's
brother.
good with you? So what do you think about you came out the mud and with Dazn and stuff. What do you think about coming over to PBC and stuff? And taking that route. I mean, Bud thinking about it. Everybody's thinking about it.
Oh, in terms of PBC
Yeah,
and Adam,
yeah.
Yeah,
PBC is a hell of a brand. Al Heyman is amazing. Amazing executive. Behind the scenes. You know what I mean? And we could never rule out anything, right? We are.
well, yeah. I mean, it seems like you're more about the times and pro blackness. I mean, why not join something that's blackish?
Pro-blackness. Yo. So he got to sign with Heyman because he black?
Wasn't asking you Mr.
Oh,
Gibbs.
my bad. That was for you, Bill.
No, I
All
was just
right.
saying. I think it'll be dope if he went to PBC. He'll get what he needs, and if he's not much of a talker, PBC's pretty good with that with Earl Spence.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. PBC, for not showing your bias there. We got JT, New Orleans. You got something for Bill?
I got something.
What's up, brother?
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Hey, Bill. I got
You
no
broke.
bias. No bias.
You breaking up.
Can you
Stop
hear me?
moving. If you're driving, you might need to pull over for a bit, brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, Bill. There's no bias. What is a bigger fight to you? Got all the bullshit to the side. Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. Devin Haney versus Giovanta Davis. What is a big?
What's the bigger
And I got
fight?
another.
What's the bigger fight?
Yeah, I'm asking Bill.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I just want to make sure because you're still breaking up, so we just want to make sure we heard it right. So he's asking, what's the bigger fight? Devin Haney versus Giovanta Tank Davis or Earl Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford?
I would have to say Earl and Bud being 1A, and then Devin and Tank being 1B. I think Earl and Terrence is kind of losing a little bit of its luster, but it's still at the apex of anticipation right now.
All right. Let me see. We going to Juan in the BX. Juan in the BX. What's up? Uh-oh, he dropped off. All right. We got K Boxing in the DC area. Are you available, K Boxing?
Hey, what's going on, champion?
What's up? You got something for Bill Haney, or you just want your call?
You know what? Me and Bill Haney ain't gonna be on the same page, so I'm gonna let Bill Haney ride because I get a little deep when it comes to Haney. So I'm gonna stick to that earlier topic at Haney.
Bill want all the smoke, man. What you must not have
I
met
know
Bill.
Bill want all the smoke, man, but I wanna give Bill his respect, man, because
Well, you ain't gotta be
everything that's going on
disrespectful.
in that circle, I want it to come out in the wash. You know how they say what don't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse? I
Yeah.
want to let that come out in the rinse.
I mean,
You
but
know what I'm
what
saying?
is it that you speak of, though? You got us like, you taking us down this rabbit hole. What are you talking about?
So see, if I just came right out and told him, I honestly believe Tank was smoke Devin. I mean, you
But
know what I mean? You know, yeah, that would be my popular opinion.
okay,
You
but
know what I mean? But
that
at the
ain't
same time,
disrespectful.
you
That
know,
ain't disrespectful.
I want to give Devin, I want to give Devin and Bill their respect. I'm not kidding you. I got all the respect in the world for them guys and what they've accomplished to this day. It's just that, you know, and believe me, I don't really have a horse in that race.
I
You
mean,
know me, Ness.
you are from
It's
DC
just
though. That's
boxing is
like
my
Tank
thing.
area. You from DC?
Right,
That's
right.
Tank
But
area.
you
So
know,
you might
boxing is
favor
just my
him.
thing. Well, I'm not going to say that either. You know what I mean? My fighter, to be perfect, you already know. In case you haven't picked up on it, my fighter is lines only. Anything that got something to do with lines only. If you notice, I say Regis. Just because Regis is associated with them guys, I'm down with anything that's lines only. You know what I'm saying? So that's my claim. But at the same time, you know, yeah, I respect Hurd and the guys in our media circle in our area, you know, as well. But you know, the Tank, I call a spade a spade, and it's just that what I've seen of these fighters to this day, you know, I just feel like Devin's not going to be able to take what Tank has to deliver. That's all.
All
But
right.
see, I know that
Can I ask you a
circle,
question,
and I
sir?
know how Floyd feels about both of those fighters, and I don't think anything is going to develop with either one of them until later on along the line when they both maybe about 30-0, and they just decide to maximize the dollar sign. That's it.
All right.
Can
Well,
I ask you a question, sir?
Oh, you want a question? Okay.
I understand.
Go ahead,
I
Steve.
understand because Tank is a hell of a talent, extraordinary boxer, dangerous and everything. Who gives Tank the best opposition in the lightweight if it's not Devin Haney? Who else gives him the fight that the fans want to see him in?
I mean,
I'm just asking.
is that the same as like who gives him the best fight?
The best fight, yes.
The best fight. Okay. So
Outside of
I'm going
Devin,
to say this.
who
I'm
is
going
the
to be
other person?
perfectly honest. I'm going to be perfectly honest. As
Uh-huh.
long as Tank, as long as Devin doesn't make a single solitary attempt to stand in front of Tank, I think Devin can survive 12 rounds and maybe even outscore Tank. But the moment he makes that crucial mistake of trying to go inside and he get caught, I just gotta feel like, you know, and I don't want to see that for Devin. You know what I
Okay,
mean? I really don't. I
the
really like Devin.
K. But the question is, who gives the better fight? Not named Devin.
The better actual fight right now, which would be a fan-friendly fight, I would have to say would probably be T.O., not just because of their history, but see, something that Bill knows as well as what I gathered from watching their sparring together in the past, and Bill very well knows this, believe me, that truthfully speaking, I think Tank can still push T.O. around. I really do. And, you know, yeah, T.O. does have enough power. The question will be is, can Tank take T.O.'s power? You see what I'm saying? Because once Tank really tastes his power today, I think it will be lights out for T.O. as well. You know what I'm saying?
Damn. Okay, well, okay, man. I'm gonna get to some other callers. Thank you for calling in. We going out to the BX. Juan, what up? Juan in the BX.
Yo, what's good?
What's up? What's up?
You can
You
hear me?
live with Bill.
Yo, Bill, what's good, bro?
What's good, bro?
Yo, yeah, Ness, I know you don't got my intro, so I'm gonna have to say, finally, the most electrifying fighter on TV is back. Hey, yo, Bill, do you think that Haney will whoop Tank's ass? If you do, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, do you think he could whoop Teofimo Lopez's ass? Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, one last one. Do you think Teofimo Lopez dropped out because he knew he was about to get his ass whooped by, I forgot homeboy's name. Give me a hell yeah.
Cambosos?
Hell
Gambosa.
no.
Gambosa's
Hell
from...
no.
All right.
Hell no.
Well, I think that he quick knew that something was going to happen. I don't know what was going to happen, but I think that he wants to make that Lomachenko fight lose his belt real quick because we all know Lomachenko was catching up in that 7th round, the 8th, and we saw what he did to Nakatuni, the Looney Tune guy. After Nakatuni knocked out, what's his name, Verdejo, and then Verdejo had to go back to Puerto Rico, start all over and shit. But yeah, I think personally, even though Haney got rocked by my man, fucking
Linares.
Fast Hands, whatever his name is, Linares. Yeah, that guy. He's back on Instagram posting videos and doing some shit. But yeah, him.
He back in October already. How the fuck the dude you beat is back? He got a date, man. Yo, listen, Bill, it's time.
Who's he fighting? You know who he's fighting?
Who does he got a date with now?
He ain't announced, but he said he back in October. He said it. It's on his Instagram.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And he ain't in the position to be lying. That. You know what I'm saying? So he back. He back.
Nah, I don't think he got a big fight.
No,
though,
you think Devin? You think
fight?
All right, Juan. Thanks for calling in. Yo, you think you don't think Mayweather would actually fight Linares Tank in October?
No. Hell no.
Huh. I wonder. Rick in San Antonio, what up? Rick?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Can you hear me?
We can.
Hey, how's it going, man? Hey, what's up, Bill? So, my thing is this, and Tank's got the potential. We've all seen it. We know what he can do. He's exciting. But he hasn't really fought a top 5 from 135 and 140. So there's no real gauge for me personally. I seen what Devin did with Linares. We know he can box and he's got the ring IQ. I could see him doing that to Tank, unless Tank catches him with that power. Mm-hmm. But ring IQ, when it comes long distance, I could see him taking it 12 rounds and getting that decision unanimously. That's my opinion.
All right, brother. Thank you for calling in. Maybe that's what's stopping the fight from happening, man. I thought that they would see more confidence in an older Linares being able to do that. You know, and the fact that Devin showed I'm not just going to be a boxer from the outside. He gave Linares opportunity. So, you know.
Barrios couldn't beat Linares. They've sparred with Barrios before. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it was easy work. It was easy. So we knew that Barrios didn't have great guy, but we knew he didn't have too much of a chance with Tank. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I feel that Barrios, if Barrios was to fight Linares, he would come up short against Linares as well. You know, if that was the test, which me and Ness talked about a test a lot. You know what I mean? The Devin needs that right test, and it wasn't a matter of what he would win, whether he would win a title or whether he would win. It was just the right kind of fighter to give him that test that he needed. And Devin passed the test with flying colors, so we became available to anyone, right? We became available to anyone and wanting to make the fights happen that the people want to see, right? And that's just the way that part of it went.
Bill, I mean, we got to, you know what? Because I put out the post, so there's definitely some people here that have sent some questions, but I got to ask, like, no frustration that your son is a free agent, WBC champion, and no offers.
He's 20. He's 22 years old. You know, it has to be the right offer, and out of respect from the other companies and networks, it just has to be the right situation. You know, and that's just the way that I look at it.
Sam in the UK says, "Hey Bill, if Haney was in the exact same position as Tio, would he vacate and fight Loma or go to fight in Australia and defend that IBF belt?"
We would stand on what we said, in the sense of that Tio said that the reason why he wasn't fighting Devin was because he was going to Australia in the first place. And he said how many fans, it was going to be a sold out, you know, it was going to be a sold out stadium. It was going to be his opportunity to fight in front of fans that weren't accustomed to seeing him, that he was going to become a big star from that. And yeah, we was honored that what we set out to do. If that's what we said we were going to make happen, then we would have stood on it.
All right.
Did he not say that, Ness? Did Tio not say that's why he was going to Australia at first?
Because what? What was his excuse?
Because he wanted to go in front of all those fans, the stadium full of fans of Australians that was going to buy the fight.
I mean, if he said it, I would go to Australia. I'm telling Jamel to go to Australia. I'm telling Danny go to Australia. Go ahead and get that Tim Zoo money out there. Why not? You know what I'm saying? You are a world champion. That is a world title, not a USA title. Like, go and get that money if it's out there. Why not? We going to Mookie B in Florida. What up?
What's happening, man? How you feeling?
I'm good.
I ain't called in so long. What's up, Bill?
What's up with you, bro?
Chilling, man. I came down to that Devin fight, man. That was a great fight. I love that stuff, man. I met. Oh, what was it? She said she was somebody that I can't remember. I don't want to say. Maybe he said auntie. I don't know. But it was a great fight. But the reason why I'm calling in, because Ness, man, I think you right, man. I think Floyd, you know how Floyd do his stuff. So he trying to find somebody that speaks Spanish. I know I think Linares from Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
man.
Venezuelan.
You know, Venezuelan, but still, he talking Spanish.
Yeah,
so, you know, that's
Spanish.
Floyd's his green print. That's his green print. That might be the move, man, because he
and it's a common opponent with Devin. He going to set a storyline.
And it's a common opponent.
He going to set that Devin Haney storyline.
You know what I'm saying? Bill, he coming. Y'all going to get him, though. I'm a tank guy, but I think I always like the boxer before I like the brawler. So I'm with you, Bill. I'm with you. And you come on to the show, so you know I'm with you. So that's all I got to say, man. You guys take it easy. Peace, yo.
All right.
Peace.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Bill, you said no, right? But, like, what is the difference between Tank fighting Linares next and Devin fighting Gamboa after Tank? Like,
well, the thing was that, you know, Tank being the superstar that he is, that I've agreed with you. I've not agreed that he's not the star, that he's not the front runner, he's not the cash cow. But at the same time, when you talk about Tank being, 26 or 27?
Let me check.
He's 26, 27.
I think he is 26. I think we just checked that when we were comparing him to Haney, who's 22. It says Tank is... Shit, really gonna have to go to box? I thought Wiki had that. 26.
Yes, 26. So when you talk about the age difference and you talk about Devin is just getting started, right? Yeah, I wouldn't see an opponent that Giovanta would pick that's in common with Devin, right? He would then be able to fight Devin. You know, we picked Gamboa because, right, we wanted to show that what a fight it would make between them. If he picks Linares, so be it. We don't have any problem with that. But when you talk about going into a fight and you're saying that you you're worrying about that one shot, right? You're worrying about that one shot. This is the boxing business, and at this level, right? You're with whoever that you're in there, you're gonna worry about that one shot, right? Devin has always been a smaller guy against the 147 pounders, 54 pounders, right? He's mixed it up, and him being the smaller guy, right? And worrying about that one shot. Tank comes to the table with that one shot power, and it's just something that you always worry about. But if he's being put in the biggest fight of his life, and we worry about one shot, so be it. We know that the skills pay the bills.
Your boy got some swag, man. Looking at his Instagram, that Louis Vuitton leather coat is beautiful. I mean, I'm assuming that's a jacket, but damn, that thing look good. This is what I'm saying. This would be the bigger fight. It's two dudes with so much swag, like same kind of audience. I need this fight, man, but I don't think it's gonna happen from the outside. Yo, how'd you feel when he got your face on his leg?
That was one of those days, and he put a picture of the day that it was one of those days that it was one of the hardest working days, for my family. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that day because we were doing something with the fight. It was like, I think it was like fight photos or something like that. I hadn't had a haircut or nothing. I was just totally zoned in. You know what I mean? And it's just major, man. It's just major. For him to do that for me, as a son, he's everything to me, man.
So you didn't know until it happened?
No, until after. No,
wow.
I didn't. That's why I said he's everything to me, man. He's really special, man.
We got Line 6 Reed who says, Bill, nothing but love for you and Devin. I mean, no disrespect. Uh-oh. In fact, Devin is my 15-year-old son's favorite boxer. He's always says he wants his jab like Devin's. That's it. Okay. What the hell did he meant by I meant no disrespect then? No clue. All right.
I think we're in a great position though, Ness. I mean, we're in a great position. Devin is in the gym, and we've always maintained this is if you don't get him now, it's only going to get worse. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, for the opponent, because Devin is getting better. His trajectory is going up. He's not at his peak, right? So.
All right. We got Stonebone in Colorado.
What up? How you doing, Mr. Haney?
Yes, sir, brother.
Oh man, bless. Listen, your posture is the exact posture of a guy and a young fighter that know what they're doing and what they're trying to achieve. Ness wants you to be a little more thirsty. He wants you to run around asking for deals. How about this? How about Devin keep doing what he's been doing? If $3 million is over at the zone, do that. Don't be going and running off trying to get, I'll give you $1 million and I'll give you a pay-per-view fight and hopefully you can make the rest on the back end. No, give me what I'm making now and we can talk. If not, bring up the mandatories, beat whoever that dude is who want to step up and take the fight. And thank you for explaining to fans and even some of these YouTube media guys how the boxing sanctions move to the next guy. It's like, do you want the fight? We telling them you want the fight. If you don't want the fight, we go to the next guy. They act like you're supposed to stay a mandatory for 12 months while they trying to get you to fight. And you basically saying, I don't want the fight. We saw Ryan duck it. We saw Javier. Hope he ducked y'all to try to take the fight, and the fight fell apart 2 different times when he should have just fought y'all, then he fought and lost. Man, God don't like ugly, man. Get in there and fight. So, Devin, maintain your posture, and that's working. You look the part, you'll be the part. And Mr. Haney, you in the right position. You the perfect example for your son to look up to. He living his best life. He ain't got y'all don't need Floyd Mayweather. Y'all don't need nobody. He got you. Y'all got y'all, and y'all got a team that can understand what the next move is. If Floyd gonna give you Tank, then maybe dance for Floyd. But if he's just trying to get you to come over there and stand around and fight Rollies and all these dudes with vowels in their last name, don't play that game. You can do what you're doing in a position and be basically the biggest black star on the zone. That's not even arguable. Like Danny Jacobs or none of them guys, Kevin Formers, they're not a Devin Haney. They don't look, when you see Devin Haney, you be like, I don't know what that dude do or who, even if they don't know he's a fighter, they know whatever he do, he's great at it, he's successful at it. So that's all. I ain't have no questions. I just want to give y'all the praise. And don't listen to Ness and go hollering and chasing deals. The money, y'all making the money. Tell them if they ain't got the money in these $30, $40 million bags, just keep making your $3, $4, $5 million to fight and do what y'all do, man. Bless. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
I mean, I don't know if he knows, but like y'all a free agent right now, so it's like anybody can pay for the next fight. You know, whoever wants it. Like there's no really true alliance left at the zone until they say, "Hey, we want that Joseph Diaz fight," right? Like you're still a free agent until some news breaks that you're with a network. So if he was with DAZN, I wouldn't be recommending fighters on other networks. You understand? He's a free agent for a reason, to make all fights. So, you know, if Canelo could sign a 2-fight deal with Matchroom for Yeardom and Billy Joe, I mean, I don't see what's wrong with a Gary Russell and Rolando Romero 2-fight deal if the money's right, like you said. We got Austin in Texas. Dallas, what up? Austin.
Hey, what's up, Ned?
How are you?
Good. How you doing today, Mr. Haney?
You heard him?
Hello?
He can't hear you. Can you speak into the mic?
Sure. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
All right. I'm going to come right back to you. You available or what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You hear him, Bill? No?
I can hear him.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, first things first, Mr. Haney. I just want to say congratulations, father to father. I know I'm a much younger father than you, but just to see his son become what he's become and how big of an impact he's had in his life. Usually in this type of dynamic, fathers and sons, they have to go their own separate ways when a young man wants to become a man. And I just salute to you knowing when to back off and just let him become his own man. It's really a beautiful thing to see, and I just pray and hope that one day I can have the same relationship with both of my sons. But as far as a boxing question, I just wanted to ask, it's just one question. Do you think Kambosos has a real chance to beat Tio if they do fight come October? Thank you again, sir, and that's my call.
I definitely think he has a chance. He has a chance, of course, with everything that's going on in Tio's life right now. You know what I mean? Now would be the time for Kambosos to step up and catch him going through a certain amount of turmoil in the sense of, you know, him not being connected as he should to the fight. But Tio, it was questions about whether or not Tio was mentally connected to the fight with Loma, and he came out and beat him as well. So, of course, I'm out of respect for boxing and respect for the Kambosos team, I'm going to give him a chance, but I still give it as a slim chance.
All right, and before we wrap up, I got line 6 Reed.
Hey, what's up, Bill? Hey, I just want to tell you the reason why your son's not getting no fights is just because he's just that nice. He beats Tank, he beats Ryan, he beats Teal. That's why those dudes don't want to see him. As far as my other call, when I mentioned Boots, I'm not taking anything away from Haney. I think he's an amazing fighter. in my opinion, he's a Mayweather clone. But then when we talk about Boots, Boots is a hybrid of Mayweather, Roy Jones, and Sweet Pea. So that's the only thing I was saying. I wasn't taking nothing away from your son. I was just saying he's not no Boots. That's my
Oh
call.
no, Boots and his dad, Boza, man, I'm big fans of them and what they're doing. You know what I mean? Boots is an amazing talent. You know what I mean? He's a big welterweight as well too. He's not a small welterweight. You know what I mean? So when you say Boots is Devin is not a Boots, and then in retrospect, I don't believe that Boots is a Devin as well. So they're two fighters that have their own identity, and I'm a big fan of Boots and what Boots will be bringing to the table as well.
We got Ruin of 504 New Orleans says, has your opinion on the business of boxing changed in any way?
No, I knew that going into it that it's a tough business. It's a tough business for anyone, even when you're aligned with one of the big promoters, one of the big three or big four. But it's something that we feel that we had to do, for the next father and son, duo that's coming behind, and I'm sure that they're going to take it farther than we've taken it, right? That they'll do better than we've done it. You know what I mean? But somebody had to do it. Somebody had to stand up to the machine, and someone had to, had to stick together, man. You know what I'm saying? Because traditionally, parents they support their kids, they support their fighters, nephews, nieces, or whatever. And then when it comes time for them to turn pro, they have to move to the side because the machine or the powers that be says that that's the way things have been going. We didn't feel that it was a need to do that. So, we did it in a way that we believed that it's good for the culture.
Bill, this next one's gonna, I don't know, I want to see how you take it. Brandon in Houston says, Bill, what do you think about Devin moving up to 175?
To 175? I mean, Devin is Superman. If anybody can do it, he could. But 75.
You don't ever see him in his career going to 75?
No. 160 will be the highest. That I see. But a smart fighter, a veteran fighter is a different. It's a different. Yeah. Him being young right now, you know what I'm saying? I don't see it. I don't see it. 75.
You know who started at 140 and moved up to 75, right?
Andre Ward? No. Andre Ward didn't start at 40. Who?
Canelo.
Oh, Canelo.
And I used Devin as an example because people are like, oh, that's not fair. Canelo started his career at 15, so that's why he's able to move up to 75 and beat Kovalev. People don't want to see that that's special. Devin started his career at 17 at 132. What weight did he fight Ryan 3 times? Please tell the people.
130, 132 or 132? Okay. 125 or 132.
All right. So
he's been fought at 125, 132, something like that.
So he's been holding 132 for how many years? Tell the people.
4 years.
22-year-old man now. He was a child when he was at 132, right?
Absolutely.
And he's a man now at 132. It's discipline. It's discipline. People don't understand that. How long you think he could hold this weight?
Another fight or two. If not, we could move up to 140, right? We could move up right now to 140 and be competitive, right? Mm-hmm. But the thing about it is at 135, with it being a stacked division of talent, right? We just wanted our name to get pulled, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of making one of these big fights.
Yup. Let me see what we got for you. James Valdez says Teofimo versus Loma 2. Who wins and how?
I gotta go with Teofimo once again. And I think that if it was a reason why Loma started off the way that he started off, right? Out of respect for Tio. So I just don't think Loma has an outside game. I think he works the angles, work to get on the inside, right? And I think that's part of his game. I don't think he has an outside boxing game. So I think Teofimo beats him again.
Okay.
Like we thought that he would beat him the first time.
Yeah.
Ryan, what about you?
Yeah, I would pick him again. I just think a natural 135-pounders with a little bit of skill is always going to beat him. Like, I thought Devin was going to beat him. Then Tio is he's obviously looking like a bigger puncher, so I thought he was going to. I picked them both, but I'm also a notorious Loma hater. I mean, I picked the Jamaican, I picked Salido, and I picked Russell. Russell let me down. He should have won that fight. He let me down. Then he put things in my head. He put things in my head because now he says, he's been saying that he had gotten the sauna a couple days before trying to make the weight. So, I always give him that benefit of the doubt because, I understand fighters got to make weight. We seen Terrence Crawford on 24/7, like, in a sauna with a whole sweatsuit, towels wrapped around. My man was looking like a mummy in a coffin with all the shit he had on him trying to make weight. So I never put it past what these fighters do to make that weight. And I gave Gary a pass for that loss. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I give this person, Lomachenko, all the credit in the world, but I couldn't take that out of my head. He personally said that in an interview to me too. So it's not like, I'm not saying he hasn't told the rest of the world. I'm just saying I interviewed him and he went there and I'm like, I believe you. Did you believe him or you think he just got his ass kicked?
I thought he fought a bad fight, when I look back at it, right? I just think that he wasn't as aggressive as he probably should have been with Loma. But I think if they fought again, I think Loma would win.
Yeah. Damn, you think Loma beats him twice? Wait, that shit just registered. So you think Loma beats Gary again? Yeah, I mean,
it would be a good fight. It would be a good fight, but I give Loma the edge.
Wow. That's good. I mean, that's good because Loma's your number one. You don't want to be saying Gary beats him. Then you might as well get that fight with Gary, like Ness is suggesting. So I get it.
No, they're all listen at this level, right? All these guys, you don't hear me saying anything bad about them. You know what I mean? When I go into it, I look at it from a style point of view, and I look at Devin's style as being a style that is competitive against all of the fighters just because of Devin's style, right? I think that Devin has better feet, better jab than all of them, right? Even down to Loma. I think that Devin has better feet than Loma, right? Loma has a lot of lateral movement, but in terms of fighting off the back foot, going forward, side to side, Devin does it all, right? So from a style point of view, that's where we tend to, differ with others. I don't just go just because this fighter, have a relationship with this fighter, I have a relationship with that fighter. I think that style and skills, I think Devin and Shakur Stevens have the best skills in boxing, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I believe.
Yeah, man. I mean, I would love that fight too. They don't even talk Tank and Shakur or you guys and Shakur. Obviously, Shakur is a weight below, but those are the fights I'm looking forward to in the future. Hopefully, they'll be able to get made. Let me
Yeah,
see.
they don't talk about Shakur. They don't talk about Shakur a lot. You know what I mean? And I rate him. I rate him extremely high.
Yeah, I mean he's over there in that top ranked prison though, man. I gotta just be honest. I love him. He's from my home city, but they're doing a terrible job with him. Terrible. They didn't give him Oscar. They made him fight they let Oscar move up, Valdez, then they let him fight for the vacant. And then they didn't even solidify or secure the fucking Warrington fight. He was willing to go to Leeds. They dropped the ball on that. Warrington signs the Matchroom, leaves Warren. And I mean, he's fighting like not even Nakatani. Who is it? This Nakatilia. Like, bro, come on, man. They killing my boy. They destroying him. They're destroying him. They're not giving him anything. Like, they didn't give him Burchell. It's crazy. Have they announced Herring? Because I did hear a rumor that it was not a rumor. I seen something Bob saying they're gonna put it in Atlanta, and I don't even know.
That'll be. I'm pulling for that. I'm hoping that he gets that Herring fight because that.
Yeah, but that's bullshit though. It's bullshit. It's like we ain't gonna give you the Mexican that we know's gonna make you more fucking popular. The recipe has been there in boxing for the last 20 years. We're not gonna give you Burchell or Valdez. We're gonna give them to each other and let you guys fight each other. That should have been a 4-way tournament. Each man gets a Mexican and the winners meet each other, bro. I don't even know why people sign a top rank. It's crazy.
And Shakur, in my opinion, beats all of them. You know what I mean? He beats all of them. Like I said, I rate him up there high.
Yeah, and he needs a little more love over there. That's all I'm saying. Unfortunate. I'd love to see him in all those fights. Those are all great fights for him.
And that's what I think the apprehensiveness and the reluctantness is that African American fighters go to top rank and are given those opportunities. You know what I mean? That's just what makes fighters reluctant to sign over there. Not to say that, in every case is different. You know what I mean? You want to go into it and saying, okay, well, a Devin would work well, right? But as history has it, you know what I mean? It's not working out well for Shakur, and it's not working out as well for Bud.
I pray they don't drop the ball with Jared. I pray that Jared, right, because he's a heavyweight, escapes their, virtual fucking prison, because that's what it is, man. These fighters go over there and they ain't getting what they want. They just not. People.
I spoke to Bob one time about that, and Bob told me, he said that in a meeting we had, he said that he's just not 100% sure or confident on how to promote a black fighter, right? And he said the reason is because traditionally you do all the ancillary things when promoting a Mexican fighter, and you get a big crowd. You get everything. You get a Mexican fan base who supports Mexican fighters. Mm-hmm. But when you get a black fighter, some will come out sometimes to support, sometimes they don't. It's just, does this fighter, and this is me talking, does this fighter have the swag that attracts our culture? Mm-hmm. Why doesn't this fighter have the swag to attract? It's just a difference that he doesn't necessarily understand.
Yes. But he needs to hire new blood. He can hire new blood. He can hire some people from the culture. He can listen. HBO hired Tom Hauser as a consultant. He was a writer. Obviously, he was a white guy, that's not from the culture, but he is the reason Gennady was so prominent on that network. His article with about 20 other writers about this mythical fucking middleweight tournament having this unknown Kazakhstanian as the winner, when at the time there were guys like Sergio and Cotto and all these great names, Daniel Gill, 2-time IBF champ, so many great names. Anthony Mundine was there, fucking Martin Murray was there, all in their prime. And this unknown Gennady guy, every single writer was saying he was next up. So Dazn, HBO or Showtime rather, they all need to do that. Like Espinoza at one point probably was in the know when he was with, you know, Golden Boy as their lawyer. And now he's a big wig and he's not really in tune. I don't think he's in tune. Like, can't he see that the Charlos are only doing 300,000? How the fuck you got all the belts and you don't crack 600? You got all the belts on the line and you don't crack 600.
So was it 300,000? It was just viewers, not pay-per-view, right?
I'll give you the facts because I got the tweet right here. Pulling it up. Charlo Castano averaged 422,000 viewers and peaked at 536,000. It was Showtime's most watched fight since Tank Davis Gamboa almost 19 months ago. And that peaked at 604,000 and averaged 577. Now, again, this is why Tank is a star. He fighting a dude that was considered old and washed up and did better numbers than a fighter 5 divisions above him probably, and with every single belt. Like, Showtime needs new blood over there. Something is wrong. Their numbers have been low for a long time. All Charlo, the bigger brother, he's always at 300. He's always, fucking AJ was doing 300 on Showtime at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just, something is wrong. They need new blood. These matchups gotta get sexier. And, you know, the truth is, some of these are good fights and the lack of Tank got more promotion. You tell me as the outside looking in, you're on social media every single day. Tell me, what did you feel more? Did you feel the Tank Barrios or did you feel Jermell Charlo versus Brian Castano for Undisputed? No.
Definitely Tank Barrios for sure.
Exactly. Meanwhile, and this is what I mean by new blood, right? You bring a guy like myself in, and I'm not selling myself, it's just the fucking truth. Why aren't they familiarizing the American public with bigger known Argentine punchers? Why aren't they trying to sensationalize us by saying this guy is like the guy fucking Mayweather fought, Marcos Maidana? Why not call Maidana and do some sort of fucking Skype interview with Maidana and Castano and introduce, you know, some more American boxing fans who love Maidana to this new Argentinian punching machine? Like, they don't think, man. They're not innovative. These dudes fucking suck, bro. I'm just keeping it real. They do.
Well,
like,
I mean,
it's very easy to get Sergio Martinez on a Zoom with Brian Castano. It's that simple. It's not hard to introduce Castano to already Argentine boxing fans or fans of this Argentine superstar, right? Like, he was a former star. He was on HBO doing $1 million every time he could. Sergio Martinez, you know, Marcos Maidana. These are people that are accessible to Heyman boxing. It wouldn't be hard, but they make it seem so hard to promote these poor fighters. It's ridiculous, man. They don't love the sport, I'm telling you. But go ahead. I cut you off.
Well, no, I have to. I understand what you're saying, but also by us being in the same division with a fighter that they are successfully promoting and doing a wonderful job with Tank Davis, I have to disagree. I think that Showtime is showing that they're still one of the premier broadcasters in boxing by the job that they're doing with Tank Davis, because we can actually feel it. We can actually see what a great job they're doing with the opponents that they're doing. What they're doing. They don't have any great opponents that they've given Tank Davis. Tank Davis hasn't been in a unification fight or anything like that. You know what I mean? He hasn't fought against an exceptional black fighter, right? It's pretty much been Latino fighters that come to fight, that are right there in front of him to do the things that he's done. You know what I mean? And
they still dropping the ball, Bill. They're still dropping the ball. They can be successful and safe. And
absolutely.
Because they dropped the ball with Tevin. Tevin would have cracked over 200 with them. Tevin would, and it was safe. He's not a puncher. Tevin would have cracked over 200, man. My man's doing 200, 215. Like, you did 200 with Leo Santa Cruz. Something was wrong there. You understand? Because then you turned around and did 215 with Barrios, you know? So there is momentum, and there's an upward trajectory, but there are instances where they dropped the ball. Like, Tevin was they built that up themselves. You know, they had all the social media clips to just make that into something bigger than what it was. It was, and like you said, he hasn't fought the slick black fighter. You tick that box. You check it now, and you're safe because he's not a puncher. They dropped that ball. People wanted that in the boxing world.
In the days now of piracy and everything like that, a 300 is a 200, right? A 500 is a 400, right? 600, 400. In the days of with it being as much piracy. Mm-hmm. And Floyd did many fights that were 300,000 buys, many of them that were considered successful. I think the Arturo Gatti was 300.
That was one of the first. Was the Arturo?
That was the first.
But
okay,
then, but he didn't go straight back on pay-per-view.
No.
He went through a Sean Bay Mitchell off pay-per-view fight. Only people doing that is Canelo, Tank, Earl. Consistent pay-per-view. But let me see if we got anything for you before we let you go. Looks like, did I ever say Ryan on work? He says, since you're a free agent, have you seen Eddie putting in less work to getting you guys a big fight? Or, as you guys say, you're working together, has his energy been the same? He ain't gonna answer that. Energy's all good, baby. Eddie doing his thing like he's always been, right, Bill?
Absolutely.
He sure is. He better be. Man. Bill, you still got time?
This is a WBC situation where if Eddie was to announce that we were fighting Lee Selby, then everybody would go crazy. Everybody would be in an uproar. They would be, what about his mandatory? What about his mandatory? Right? If Eddie was to say that we were fighting,
did you go? He got a call. Majimbe, I see you. That's why I said, Bill, you still got time? Because if you do, then I'll go to your call. You were late to the party, though, champ. Damn, I think Bill got a call. Hope it's that Eddie call, like, yo.
Yo, if you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Untitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.